Congrats, Sia, and congrats, Jock. Jock, Pieter-Steph du Toit made 28 tackles in the final. Just your thoughts on his performance, please.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Yeah, no, yeah, he I don't know.
Pieter-Steph du Toit, who's just been taking names.
Like, I wanted to watch him. Some of the hits that he was making, I was standing there, he was flying past me.
To play for the Springboks, you've got to push yourself until you physically can't go anymore. That's how I felt. You put the health, your body aside, you don't care what's happened. That's the consequences for later in your life.
If there's a white plastic bag that blows over the field, he'll probably chase that down as well. So that is him, the Malmesbury missile, and he was that tonight. He was a machine.
I'm not going to lie down there. It's not who I am. It's not the way I brought up. Rugby play is a different breed as well. It's probably one day you get used to the pain. One day you wake up, you're going to miss the pain.
We're in Japan, Peter. This is your second home. This is your new home. Your forever home.
Yeah, it's home away from home.
Home away from home.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity I've got to be able to come to Japan. It's a place I've been wanting to experience after the 2019 World Cup, coming here the first time. And then you've got to look at yourself and think about the bigger picture as well. If you want to align the two seasons, the international season and the Japanese League One season, it works perfectly hand to hand in each other. They allow you to be able to go play for the national team, and that's the thing about the Japanese. They support you 100%, or my club, Toyota Blitz, support me 100% on where I want to go and what I want to do in both sides. So when I'm here, I'm committed 100% to the club, and then when I'm at the Springboks, they'll support me 100% that side as well.
Yeah, like that's so cool, because it's a big ask now, isn't it, to go to Europe and play. There's a lot of games to play, like financially. Yes, we're seeing lads like Geordie Barrett go and do a small sabbatical, but the appeal of playing in Japan, less games, more money, like these things in rugby. Can you see where the pull is for the very best players in the world like yourself to come to Japan and potentially not over to Europe now?
I think, like I said, the Europe season is very long. You play, I think, double the amount of games you play in Japan. So that plays a role as well. And that you have the opportunity to play for your country as well. So there might not be problems with the clubs wanting you not to play. Because sometimes you get that, or you get injured that side, you can't play this side. So all those kind of stuff plays a role in the decision. But of course, financially plays a big role. If you look at play per minutes, in Japan it's a good start and a good stepping stone for further your career and looking after yourself. Because at the end of the day, rugby is only a small part of your life, and your career comes to an end, and you've got to make sure you've be able to live after that as well, be a father to your family, to your children as well. So that plays a big role in the decision.
Tough sport, toughest sport on the planet, I would say. And I'm looking at it because I'm watching you pitch side, I'm watching the games from the World Cup pitch side, and the commercial financial reward doesn't marry up. And I know it's different when you talk about NFL and you talk about NBA and UFC, other kind of contact sports as well. And I wanted to go down this route because of your injury profile. I know it's something that you've told before, but maybe just give us an idea of what your body's been through. Go from head to toe. The headline ones.
From since I was born, or since I play rugby?
Let's go from when you picked up a rugby ball, but like when it got serious.
Okay, so the first big rugby incident I had was compartment syndrome, and it was my matric year, and I got a knock against the leg. In the previous game, played, finished the game. That week went into school, started getting better, and I got a knock from a knee against the quad. Yeah, from there it just got worse and worse, and that night I had to went in for emergency operation. And they opened it and released the pressure. So that was the first time. And then 2011 ankle injury, 2012 ankle injury.
What do you mean injury?
Syndesmosis.
Okay.
So I had to put wires in both ankles. And then 2013 I cracked my sternum.
That's sore.
Yeah,
that's a bad one, eh? I've done that before.
Yeah, so my mother, we were just about to leave for Super Rugby tour, and my mother came to watch our last game, and she wanted to give me a hug after the game. it was like it didn't happen at one spot. It was getting worse and worse and worse, and then just broke at the end. But she wanted to come and give me a hug. I was like, oh no. And she said, listen, something wrong. It's impossible to feel this amount of pain after a game.
Just hugging your mum.
Yeah, just like my mom.
Yeah.
And of course, you're a young guy. You want to push yourself. You tell yourself you're not going to get another opportunity. You, as a young guy trying to make it, playing for a Super Rugby team, trying to go through to play for the Springboks, you've got to push yourself until you physically can't go anymore. That's how I felt. You put the health, your body aside, you don't care what's happened. That's the consequences for later in your life. And then 2014, at the Sharks in the training exercise, the whistle has gone, and I went to pick up the ball, and one of my mates came across. There was a kick through, and I went, chased the ball, and the whistle gone, and I tried to pick up the ball and got the ball in the game, and I stepped just on my heel. Ankle, knee twisted, ACL, out for I think 13 months, 2015. So that happened on my brother's birthday, 3rd of March. And then a year and 1 day later, the 4th of March, I tore it in a game against Cheetahs in Bloemfontein Stadium. Yeah, it was before it was a World Cup year. And I phoned the doctor after the game, told him, listen, this happened. He said, okay, now come see me Monday. And actually my mother always takes me, because my father's on the farm. It's his job, you can't go, leave the business going. So, and he said, no, he'll take me. Because I was quite disappointed and I got it. He took me to the doctor and we got there and the doctor said, okay, yeah, it went for a scan, seems like ACL is off, but there was a lot of blood on the inside swelling, so they couldn't check properly. And then he said, yeah, we'll probably have to go in for a scope and check if it's your ACL. We're going to have to harvest, not what they call it harvest, but your tendon from your hamstring with the use or the patella. And they've used in 2014 my own hamstring tendon from the first one. And my father came up with the idea, but can't he give his to mine? Donate his. And he said, the doctor's like, okay, that might be a first time. And he said, okay, he's going to phone some of his colleagues. We have to go and do some blood tests. They have to check the stuff that goes there and if it fits or matches. And then, yeah, I think 2 days later, we both went into the hospital. I went in first. They did a scope check, what's wrong. It's like, okay, my dad has to come harvest his tendon and plant it into mine. So yeah, that's the second one. And then I played after 3 months. The first one was out for 13 months.
And why so short? Because it's your old man's, isn't it? Like that makes you stronger.
Yeah, it's probably that as well. But of course, I wanted to push for the World Cup. And yeah, after I played one game, like a warm-up game, and then got selected for the World Cup squad, luckily by Heineke Meyer. So yeah, and then 2016 was good, 17 was good, 18 and 19 all good, and then on the 28th of Feb on Newlands, the last game in Newlands as well, and it's actually quite sad because the stadium it's not working condition anymore. And then I got a knock in the first half on the knee on the quad. Second half, came back out, played again, got another knock, and played for about 5-10 minutes. And it's like, no, it's getting a bit bad. My wife took me to the hospital. She was at the game, and the doctor came. I had a bit of discomfort, but not much pain, just discomfort. I couldn't bend my leg and so on. And then just 1 point. They asked me if I need medications. Now I'm fine, just 1 point. It's like, okay, give me everything you've got.
Really?
They gave me morphine, used the morphine. I passed out of the pain, wake up again, I asked for more morphine, no, this proper, and the doctor's like, call one of his surgeons, his mates, and a cardiovascular surgeon. He came and looked like, you've got to cut it open, and then they cut it open. It's about a 40 centimeter scar on the side of the quad. And then, yeah, after the surgery, they couldn't close it again because due to all the swelling. And there was a Saturday night. The Monday, they tried to close it again. They couldn't, the swelling was too bad. Still in the hospital. Friday, they couldn't close it. Went home, sent me back home for a week with an open wound on my leg. They put like a vacuum, almost like a vacuum dresser on it that sucks all the air out, so no, you can't get infection. And luckily, I didn't get infection. Lost 10 kgs in 2 weeks. Went back, they were able to close it, and then the rehab started again. Yeah, they was out for another 13 months. Had a bit of nerve damage on my quad. Luckily made a recovery from that. And then in the British and Irish Lions, in the first game I played, and good game, we lost the game unfortunately. Sunday we had off. Monday I just woke up and I couldn't brush my teeth. I literally couldn't pick up my arm very high. And in the week it was getting better. And I saw a doctor, and doctor came, like, okay, yeah, we can do this and this, and strapped it, played the game, and then in the game just got worse. And then yeah, had to get another shoulder operation, put in screws, out for 6 months, came to Japan. First contact training exercise I did, broke the screws, tore the bicep. At the end of the season I had to take out the broken screws. And yeah, now it's bicep is still torn and still being able to play, but yeah, luckily I'm still running at the moment.
Quite unbelievable when you actually outline it, and I've never asked anyone to outline their injury profile,
Yeah.
but I thought I knew it, and then I went a bit deeper into it, and it's quite remarkable. One, how you played in the final and the World Cup as a whole, but to go through all them things like physically, emotionally. I want to ask this question: what's your mum saying? Your mum, is she encouraging you because of the history you have in your family,
Yeah.
and I imagine hard men. You know,
Yeah,
are you the seventh?
I'm the seventh, yeah.
You're the seventh Pieter-Steph du Toit. Is that
Yes,
how?
yes,
Is it,
yeah.
Pieter-Steph du Toit is seventh. It's so fucking
Yeah,
cool.
seventh generation.
What's she saying?
When we get injured at the house, normally your mum, she just gets cross at us. Like, she wants to give us a hiding because we don't look after ourselves. She cares so much that she wants us to realize, listen, you're doing it's not sustainable. Look after yourself. Since started playing professional, she came to as much games as possible and supporting us, and yeah, with all the support I get from her, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because when you talk about this game that we play, and you'll know it better than me, like I played for, if you can call it playing, for 15 years, and that's why I say it's an incredibly tough sport. It's pretty spectacular, and I'm going to read something actually that Brian O'Driscoll said. I don't know if you saw this or heard it. Did you hear what Brian O'Driscoll said? Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
did, yeah. I'll read it just for the people, right? So Brian O'Driscoll said on the great Pieter-Steph du Toit, best number 6 in the world, that's all right, you know? Yeah, no biggie. He's going around like it's not a 60-year-old tendon in his leg. That performance on top of that knowledge beggars belief. So even the greatest, one of the greatest in the game, is talking about some of the injuries that you had.
Yeah.
Because, so just to reiterate, you've got your dad's hamstring part of his tendon in your knee.
Yeah.
So he feels largely responsible for the performances
He does,
at the World Cup
and
as well, right?
he always claims he's got a percentage in my contract as well. He's still waiting for the payday to come.
It's the hierarchy thing.
Yeah,
I think regardless of that
maybe one day.
whatsoever. And that's why I did bring it up as well, because a lot of people look at the glory, right? They look at you lifting a World
Yeah.
Cup, they look at you getting man of the match, and they think, wow, this is amazing. Not that it's easy, I don't think anyone's thinking of that, but I don't think they realise the amount of work that goes in. How tough was it for you to come back from them dark times?
If I look at it now, it's part of the game. You signed up before. No one is holding a gun against me and say, listen, you've got to keep doing what you're doing. It's my own decision, I want to do it. And Rassie summed it up quite well actually. It's the highs are very high and the lows are very low. But I always say, if you get to that lows, there's only one way, and that's to get up again. I'm not going to lie down there. It's not who I am. It's not the way I brought up. It's not. And then the other thing that helps me through it is my faith. That carries you a long way. It carries me all the way, and I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, I'm just fortunate. Everything worked out the way it worked out.
Yeah. Tell me again then, why do you keep getting up? Why did you keep getting up? What is it? Is it the green jersey? Is it playing for the
green
Springboks?
jersey is like I said. So my grandfather was a Springbok. If you play for that jersey, there's nothing else you want to play for. It's an unbelievable honor and a privilege. But you've got to keep in mind it's going to come to an end. Like I said, it's only a short term in your life. And rugby doesn't define me. The Springboks doesn't define me. But the joy I get out playing for them, me as a young kid growing up, seeing those, idolise those Springboks, Skalkberger, John Smith.
I was going to ask you who. Give me some names then.
Yeah,
So
Skalkberger, John Smith, Pierre Spies, Richie McCall. Yeah, those guys is guys you look up to, and you want to give younger children that dream as well. And it's not necessarily just doing it for them. I enjoy it. Rugby play is a different breed as well. It's probably one day you get used to the pain. One day you wake up, you're going to miss the pain, probably. and that's part of it.
With the All Blacks, there's a few now at your club as well. Bowden,
Yeah.
Barrett, Aaron Smith.
Yes.
Any more?
Steve Hansen.
Oh, Steve Hansen as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, the great Steve Hansen.
Yeah.
So, was there any chat between Bowden and what you did to his brother in the final, or not? Did he say anything to you?
So it's normally his wife that brings it up, and
Oh,
then
really? What did he say?
his wife brings it up, and then he just walks away, or he doesn't. We've never actually talked about it, but of course you've got the respect for each other, and the same. I think with my side, if we would have been on the other side, I wouldn't want him to talk about it as well. It's like you talk about the game and stuff like that, and not really about instances that happen in the game, but of course it's a dream for someone, and the dream got taken away. So unfortunately, yeah, that's how it is.
I'm not going to let you get away with just saying that Bowden Barrett's wife says stuff to you about Geordie. What does she say? Like, does she joke about it?
No, it's actually, they just talk about the World Cup. So like, yeah, it's funny how, because sometimes when we play for the Springboks, for us it feels like we always struggle to beat the All Blacks. And before we beat them now, it's a difficult thing. It's always difficult playing against a top side team, especially the All Blacks. You regard them as one of the best teams in the world in what they've done in the past. And it's nice to hear they think the same about the Springboks that we think about them. And that just gives you a bit of satisfaction. It's like, okay, we're doing something right.
Is that rivalry still
Oh, yeah.
as deep as it's ever been? Is it the All Blacks?
Yeah, I believe it's the All Blacks. For me, it's the All Blacks, especially how we performed against them in the past. We struggled some games, just the way they play. It's always nice against them, but like not hiding away from any other teams. It's just they play a very attractive brand of rugby, and that suits them, and they're playing towards their strengths as well. So, and for me, that I like defence. It's nice to play against them because they give you opportunities to tackle.
So you said you like playing against the All Blacks because they give you something to hit.
Yeah,
Kind of an understatement, really. I mean, you hit them 28 times, you made 28 tackles in the final, but just give us an idea of your mindset when you're tackling and playing against the All Blacks and they're running at you.
They play a nice and fast game, and I like it like that. It gives me opportunities to move and express myself as well. I feel like I can cover ground on the field, and where I cover, probably I'll get opportunities to get into the game.
To tackle, to hit a man. So 28 tackles in the final. You know, when you're going through the motions of that, and I say the motions, it's more than that, but you're in your flow. Okay, you had a tough game in the semi-final, tough game in the quarter, tough pool stages, but in that final, just give us an idea as a player, as an athlete, when you're in your groove and you're making them 15, 16, do you know that you're making that many?
In that World Cup final, I remember one tackle. It was so focused on the next job. You did the job, put it behind you, move on to the next job. You've got to keep pushing, going forward. I remember one tackle, and then after the game, when I started watching the game or saw some footage that people sent me, I was like, oh, I saw more stuff. I didn't realize, oh, this was such a good tackle, or I hit this guy that hard. So there's one tackle I remember, and this was from a line-out, and Geordie carried the ball, and I think he dummied first, and then I just accelerated into tackle, and and knocked the ball. That's one I remember. The other stuff was just so physically drainage that you have to keep going forward and think about the next job.
Yeah,
Get up.
With the World Cup final, were you man marking Geordie Barrett? Was that your role or not?
No.
Did it just kind of fall at that he got the brunt of it?
In our system, we don't give one person the responsibility to man mark someone or so on. It was by luck. He just ran where I was the whole time, and all credit to him. He came with everything you've got, and after the game, you're tired. It's like everyone wants this trophy so much that they'll put your body through a lot of stuff to get there.
What was the toughest game? I know the final would have been. The England game looked the toughest emotionally for you as a team.
Yeah.
What stands out? Do you have a game that was the one where you were like, that was
Yeah, for me personally, it will be the France game. For me mentally, it was tough as well. I got a red card against them a year before. Accident happened, and then so especially the hostile environment we had, just coaches playing mindset games with you. Think about the families. Are they going to be okay? They have security there. You never know what's going on in a rugby game. You get someone that gets so upset after a team that lost, they'll do anything for the team. They don't think really clearly. So of course, after that game, I just threw my hands up, and it's such a relief to be able to win that game.
Right, so I've been very lucky to see Chasing the Sun 2 in Scotland. It's not out in the UK yet, but one of the talking points out of the doc was your halftime speech against England. I know everyone's talking about it, but I think a lot of people were surprised maybe that you are so quiet and reserved and that you weren't one of the big speakers. And then you spoke up, and you saw when Rassie and when the other players talk about it, they all smiled, like a big smile on their face. Where did that come from, and how has that been received? You know what I mean? Like after now you've won it, is there a bit of laughing and joking about it?
Yeah. When I first saw the commercial, I think it was the second commercial or something, and they saw that speech, and I was like, oh no. Because in South Africa, you want to be a role model for children as well, and you don't want to swear on live television, you don't want to do certain stuff, that's not good. And I just told my mates, they're like, oh geez, I saw you got a bit angry. They're like, I just hope they give full context behind what really happened. And as you can see, they kind of did what's going on. It's like, it's something I haven't experienced in a change room. We always go into a change room, we've got plans. This is working, this is not working. Okay, let's do this, let's then do this. Rassie came in, said what he had to say, took the reserves next door, into a room next door, and I was just looking around. The coaches were standing behind the table that side, and everyone was just sitting there. It's not what we used to. It's not our system. What's going on? We've got to make plans. That's what we normally do. We make a plan and discuss what's going on. And then it wasn't planned. It was just something that came up and and said stuff. And yeah, I don't really talk that much. I always believe, and I'm a strong believer in action speaks louder than words. The way you perform on the field or the way you live your life must tell you a story. Okay, this is the morals of this guy. And if you can do that, nothing has to be seen.
100%. And did you read the room? Did you read the coaches and the players? I think you said that then,
Yes.
which is very different to anything you've experienced before, and that's where you just felt compelled.
You can see everyone standing there, like even Jock was, I don't think anyone, we were so shocked what's going on. We're experiencing our game plan forced on us, and we can't handle it. And just look around and see everyone is sitting down, no one is talking, there's no energy, there's no vibe, and that's what we're about. We have to come together, we create a vibe, we create energy, and we go on to the next job. That's always our motto, focus on the next job.
And did anyone speak to you after the game and say that was needed?
Oh, Rassie, of course, the next day, I think it was, the next day we had a meeting, and he just showed on the projector, and he said, this guy understands. And I'm very grateful for that. Of course, as a coaching, like with Rassie, he gets the best out of people, and sometimes he says harsh stuff to get it out of. So we've had some words, and where he gets the best out of myself as well. And so that's the only thing that I spoke to about.
Yeah, so he's pushing your emotional drivers, right? Because in I think it was the game after Ireland, where he calls you out as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether this is a normal thing for the Springboks and for you players. Like it's not really a normal thing for any team that I've played at. You know, the really uncomfortable conversations, like calling out your best players in the team, like challenging you as a man, putting Eben Etzebeth and Dwayne Vermeulen in a room so they can sort out their issues. A lot of other teams will just hide away from that. You know, you do run. You know how big these things are.
The most uncomfortable stuff we speak about.
Yes.
And we address them, and we try to get solutions for it. Of course, the team is bigger than the individual. The team is bigger than anything in that room or part of that squad. And of course, you want the team to perform as well. And I think that's what us, a team, does well, and what the whole management does well, is they get you to buy into the plan, the whole system, and you get the feeling, and you know what's going to happen is if the team does well, you're going to reach your personal ambitions and goals as well. You can't do that with the team staying behind, unfortunately. If the team does well, you follow automatically. So that's the nice thing about putting the team first.
Yeah. Do you know, with Rassie, do you think it's because he's walked your path? Do you think that that's a large part of how he can speak to you guys like that and he can really get inside the soul
Yeah.
of you players.
So in people must also understand, in 2018, 2019, it wasn't exactly like this. So it's not overnight it happens like this. He always says he gets the right people. And I believe he gets the right people that understands his mindset and has the mentality to say, okay, say this about me, but I'll show you. Like, I'll take it personal. You can say what you want to say, but I'll show you. Put me on the field and I'll show you, I'll prove you wrong. And I think that's what he's trying to say, get the right people. To be able to eat up all that stuff that's coming your way and being hard enough and strong enough to be able to stand up and go forward again and put the team first.
Feels like he's a bit of a father figure as well to a lot of the players, the Bongi Mbadambi embrace. He's taken that role as a role model, not just as a coach.
Yeah, so the thing is about, we don't see Rassie often. Like, he's always has a plan. He's analysing stuff. You don't know what his next step is going to be. Okay, it's always something out of the box. As players, you laugh at it as well, but it's a tough environment as well. It's a lot, it's drainage from you. The way they lead by example is the video footages and analysing their dudes, the hours they put into that. So but he's the best guy for the team at this moment, and we enjoy it. We buy into it. We're doing well under him. So it's a good thing for South African rugby with him being involved there.
Yeah. So Rassie, we'll finish on him there because he's the star of the show. He's the executive producer as well. That comes up on the titles at the end. But is it sometimes like with him? Is it like, mate, stop with the speakers? Just let me, because you're a straight up and down guy.
Yeah.
You know?
So he pushes you to the limits. He gets under your skin. Sometimes he trains with you. And say, for instance, he's in the defense. They're passing to you and you miss the ball. He'll make like a noise before and you miss it. It's like, oh, he's bang. He's scared. So he gets under your skin. He shouts like, oh, he's scared and stuff like that. So always try and get under your skin and trying to prove him is wrong. So I think that's also what I meant with getting the right people. He pushes the buttons and says stuff that's not always true, but you think he thinks it's true, and you want to prove him wrong by his statement.
So if he's like the bad cop in that, like who's the good cop? Who's the one that puts the arm around, or be like, because Felix Jones comes into it a lot. I don't know. I'm just trying to get a kind of insight into how it is, because you're in this alpha-fueled environment, right? Where there's a lot going on, there's a lot of chaos. You've got the Dwayne Eben thing, you've got Sia as captain, you've got yourself. Do you know what I mean? You've got some proper balls in that team, like the best of the best. Who's there to put the arm around and give the love?
I think your wife or your girlfriend.
Yeah. So it's proper old school then,
no,
yeah? That's what it is.
It's proper old school, yeah. No,
okay.
it is what it is.
Because there is this big thing around the partners.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, in all teams. But again, because this is about you and because you just brought it up there, but the wives seem to play a huge part. And
that's what we're so grateful for, is because it's such a drainage environment, not our environment, it's a healthy environment, but it expects a lot of you to
high
perform.
pressure.
Yeah, high performance. And with them being able for us to let our families come and stay with us is unbelievable. They don't, even the night before the game, I know a lot of teams have to sleep in different rooms. Before the World Cup final, my wife and my two kids slept in the same room with me.
Yeah.
It's
unheard of.
And we've got that saying is ownership. Is where you have to be responsible. You're making the right decisions for you to perform on a Saturday. Because everything, doesn't matter what happens in the week, what you do. If you can perform on a Saturday, all is good. Rassie used to say, use this simple example. If you want to have a few beers the night before a game, it's up to you. If you're man of the match, all good. You do what works for you. But of course, it's a professional environment. High pressure situations happens, and you've got to look after yourself. You're not 21 anymore where you can just go on feeling. You've got to make plans as well going forward. And just one thing, like, I'm a bit afraid for this documentary is, like, people will, or school coaches and children will think this is the only way, or this is the way to how things, the standards are. And it's not the standard. Like I said, it didn't happen with us overnight, like this is how we worked. So we've been working together for 6 years and so on, and developed, and you got the right people in to do those kind of stuff. So if you speak to school children like that, it's going to be a bit tough.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the fine balance is in. You've got to find the soul of the team and what you want to be known for and how you can treat the guys around you as well.
Yeah, but finding the soul of the team is the main part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that, and that is where the stars have aligned. Having someone like Rassie and Jacques coming in, and then you bring a Felix Jones with an analytical,
Yeah.
like Andy Edwards, been at Saracens, so worked with
Yeah.
England. You know, is a little bit more hard-faced, quiet,
Yeah.
angry man actually
Yeah.
when he gets going, when he's had a beer.
Oh, rage.
Yeah, the rage. But that's what I mean. That's where, like with Rassie, he probably would struggle with another team.
Yeah.
Because you can't have them conversations.
Yeah, I think he's quite a tough, hard guy, and you never know, but he found a way, a South African way, to work with South Africans. And that's what I like about South Africa. We pride ourselves on being tough and hard and genuine people. And almost like the older days.
But that's a big shift, though. You know, like as
It
in,
is.
like now society.
Yeah.
I've got children. You know, I'm a little bit old school, but I'm also progressive towards the change.
Yeah.
But whereas and that's why I keep going back to the doc, because it did bring me back to old school values.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As
And-
in, Rassie's the boss.
yeah.
He's the boss.
And
you're the kids.
What he says, you just do. He's the boss. You've got to respect, and there's a mutual respect from both sides. But you've got to. He's the guy that makes the decision. If you don't perform, if you don't do what he's telling you to do, you're not going to play. So, and sometimes you can get upset and so on. But what's the easiest way to fix it? Just do what he says, and it's done.
Were you surprised to see Jacques Nienaber go to Leinster?
Like everything comes to an end. The hours and work Jacques puts in, the sacrifices people have made, the management has made for the team, that not a lot of people knows what's going on behind the scenes according to the family aspect. It's tough. I understand his reasons. It's the same as us as players. He's got the same right to do what we do when we come and play in Japan. So you can't keep a guy. You can't be angry at what he's doing. He's doing what he thinks is the best for him and his family.
Yeah, I was talking to the great Andrew Mertens and Justin Marshall, and they were saying like where they feel like New Zealand and the All Blacks have slipped up a little bit is they've given all the world access to their coaches. People go over to the New Zealand and to the All Blacks environment. How do they do it? You know, they go and see Razor and almost overshared. You know, there's an argument to say Jacques Nienaber goes to Leinster and the quarter-final hoodoo of Ireland, that's the shift. Do you know what I mean? As in, the South African comes in because back-to-back world champions.
You can turn it around. You can say, okay, Springboks are seeing Ireland as becoming probably one of the best teams in the world. What can we learn from them to better our game in this aspect? Okay, we struggle with this aspect of our game the most. Who's doing it the best? Okay, let's say, for instance, it's Ireland. Let's turn it around.
There you go. So Jacques called you, what was it, the Mulsbury missile? Was it him who named you that?
Yeah, it was
Because that kind of blew up a little bit
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
didn't it? What were your views on that's not a bad thing to be called?
No, it's a nice thing. It's
What does it mean?
uh,
So that's where you're from?
yeah.
is
So
it?
that's where I went to school.
And the missile part is
No, I
you
think
flying
it's
into
just
things?
probably that just
Yeah.
exploding.
Just
but-
exploding, see, it's that bit. I'm not flying into things. He's like, no, not just flying into things. Actually, when you fly into things, it explodes.
Destroying.
Yeah.
My grandfather also played the Springboks and he was a very strong guy. He's in Afrikaans you call him Piet Spieren, and if they convert it, it's Piet Muscles. So a lot of the guys, due to my grandfather, because the first article that was in the headlines when I got called up the Springbok training camp was Piet Spieren a Springbok. And so that's just my grandfather's nickname that they used for myself. So that's the only thing.
Is he still with us?
No,
your
he
grandfather?
passed away. Yeah. And then other nicknames I think I'm probably the guy with the most names in the team. With some call me Pietie, some call me Steph, some call me Pieter-Steph or Pieter. So no, a lot
What
of
do you
names.
prefer?
No, Peter.
Yeah. First one.
Yeah.
Straight down the line.
Yeah. My family always call me Pieter-Steph, but all my mates calls me Peter.
Just give us an idea when the final whistle goes. I know it's the headline question, winning a World Cup, but we've kind of gone through your story and the ups and downs, the adversity, and how tough the World Cup was. Was it that moment, or was it after when you got home where you were like, this is unbelievable?
I think after the game you realise, no, this is unbelievable. Seeing all our families and friends, I had so many friends that came friends that came to book packages for the semi-final. We won the semi-final, exchanged the flights to stay. So just with everyone there, and my children there, my parents, my friends, my wife, and then when we got back home in South Africa, when you walked out of that airport, I've never experienced it like that. It's crazy. It's more than overwhelming. You can't believe what's going on.
Give us an idea then. Like, you saw the clips of Rassie crying, so you saw how much it meant to him. Everyone talks about Sia. You see Sia as the headline, he's the front man.
Yeah.
But for a quiet man from the farm, give us an idea of the emotion. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, it's almost so big you can't think. You're just taking in, you're checking what's going on around you. It's so overwhelming. It's you don't have the emotions to explain it, to express yourself. It's like you're shocked. So it was, I must say, I've never dreamt about it or saw how this road will end up or what's going to come with it. And today I'm very grateful how it worked out.
What about your family when you go back to the farm? Your hard dad?
Yeah, no, it's like my dad come across like a hard guy, but he's one of the hardest workers that I know, and that's why I learned my example from where to work hard and lead by example, and action speaks louder than words. But yeah, we've got some of the workers on the farm, or 1 or 2 workers on the farm, and they're all black supporters, but they'll wear a Springbok shirt with only my name at the back. So they only support me. They won't support the Springboks, but they'll support me. So it's going back to the farm, seeing everyone there, and just everyone wants a piece of you, and just to say thank you. And that's just what everyone wants to say, is say thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to feel this good, and having the joy of watching this with mates, and seeing how happy our kids are, and just that whole expression about everyone is happy.
And you probably want to thank them, right? Like, that's the thing, the kind of running thread.
That's the
because
thing.
that's all that's spoken about is South Africa is your country. Every game, every emotion point, every touch point, every emotional driver.
And that's the thing that I believe pushes us a bit extra than any other team, because we are able to push more. It's because of the circumstances that's happening in the country, of the tough people that's in South Africa. You can't hide away. If you hide away, it's done. You're gone. So that's why Rassie also can speak to us the way he did, because some of the guys are used to it. We grew up in tough environments, but the country as a whole we want to just thank them for their support, and that's probably the only way we know how to do it.
Yeah. Do you have a hope for the country with everything
Of
that's
course.
going on there?
Definitely.
But what do you hope?
No, I believe, of course, you want crime to decrease, you want more job opportunities, you want the economy to grow. I believe, but it takes time. And the big thing in life is you have to be patient. Patience is a tough thing, especially for myself. If you want to do something, you want to start working on it, you want to do it now. But if you look at South Africa overall, I won't live anywhere else. I grew up in the country, that's what I'm used to, that's home for me. And the future in South Africa, I believe, is very bright. Of course, if something happens, I might change my opinion. You don't know what happens in the future or what's going on. But you have to stay optimistic. I'm a very optimistic guy, according to that. And the lifestyle we have there, I don't believe you can put value on money, get a better value for money in South Africa.
Yeah. I'm going to finish on this question, just while we're here. Just give us an idea of what it means to be a Springbok for young lads watching this that want to get to the pinnacle which you've got to.
Yeah.
Give us an idea, if you can contextualise it.
The highest highs you can reach is higher than you can imagine. And the satisfaction you get by seeing that, the joy you put on other people's faces with what we've achieved, is, you can't put an amount of money or anything, you can't buy it. It's the work you put in the back and no one sees, and the satisfaction you get from that by seeing the joy they've got, what you do, is, you can't measure it. So for me, it's an unbelievable honor and privilege to be part of it. And with everything that happened, injuries, how life moves forward, I won't change anything. I'm happy where I am in my life today and what happened in the Springbok environment. I'm just grateful for everything.
Do you want to go again? One more World Cup?
I'll try my best. It's Rassie, they've got everyone is getting older, so they've got a average age. I told it someone in the past, and he says, remember, you've got people to lift the age as well. If you only have 24 years old in the team, it's only 24. It has to be between 29 and 30. So if I'm good enough, if the body allows me to do it, and if I still enjoy it, I will definitely give my best. At the moment, how I feel now is I want to. But I also don't want to just go there and take up a number and can't be able to add value in the way I want to add value.
Class, mate. I'm in your second home.
Yeah,
Your temporary home.
temporary home. Yeah,
Yeah.
home away from home. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful country, and South Africa will always be home. I love the country. I love the people there. My family is there, so all my mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been class, mate.
Thanks.
You're a legend.
Hopefully you
Thanks.
come there soon.
Yes, I'm coming. Definitely, 100%. Cheers, mate. That
Awesome.
was wicked. Thank you, mate.
Thanks.